Guys, welcome back. So now we are going to make our way to the Ashina Outskirts. We're going to talk to this guy. Climb the mud wall. Should be a kite up here. Let these guys do their fighting. Now this is the point in the game where you're going to be able to farm stuff like fulminated mercury. But we're just going to focus on the boss kills. Kind of disappointed that I mistimed the second interaction with the mini boss down there at the old grave. Really wish I would have got that. So we're just gonna go ahead and push through. I'm gonna show you guys exactly what you need to do in order to finish off the game. But all right, cool. So as you can see, we got a huge war going on right here. We're gonna jump down. I'm not gonna pay these guys too much attention. Yes, we are gonna have to clear them out, but we're gonna do that from down here. So rest. Let's make sure we have all our items that we need. Let's go ahead and spend our points. So acquire skills. Anything that we need. Nightjar Slash isn't really a big one. No, we don't really need anything right now. Alright, so we are ready to go. We're gonna pop our Gachin's Spirit Fall. And we're gonna head on up. Now, as you can see, these samurais are fighting against the local Ashinas here. There is a very tough mini boss down here, or not a mini boss, but a tough NPC. He's super anti pretty much everything. I mean, he's got pretty much every skill that you can have. Can't stealth kill this guy. Again, with the red hats, focuses on parrying. This guy's kind of tough because he's in the wood line, and it makes it difficult to time his attacks because you can't really see him. But as you can see, there is a guy down here. Let's see if we can get a jump on him. Yep. Boom. Don't have to worry about fighting him. Pick up the scrap. And again, you get a ton of experience from these guys. Alright. Next red hat. And you are going to want to clear these guys out because of the next boss fight. The next mini boss is right through this gate. I really like how they repurpose the areas that we've already been through as the late to mid-game areas, because it saves on having to reconstruct new areas and lets them just have much better boss encounters throughout the game. Alright, so you can see there is the boss that we're going to be fighting, but we're not going to be focused on him right away. Instead, we are going to focus on clearing out all the enemies that we need to. Don't engage more than one of these guys at a time if possible. And see if we can get our original death strike here. Nope. So again, he's one of the big fat dudes. So let's get it. Let's go ahead and kill the pan guy so we don't have to worry about him alerting anyone anymore. And what I'm trying to do here is sneak up on a couple of the red hats and try to puppeteer them. Oh. So what you can actually do here to kind of reset the area is just run all the way over here. He won't follow. There we go. Alright, he's reset. All the other enemies should be reset. And then we can go about taking care of all the red-hatted ninjas. Or samurai. Take out the guy with the gun. And again, just break contact with as many of them as you can. One at a time. This late game area is very difficult, so don't be ashamed of resetting them. Pop our sugar. Go ahead and use our Tonto. Heal up. And as soon as this guy turns the other way, we'll run up and we'll give him a puppeteer ninjutsu. Once he turns around, we should be good. Alright, so he's going to help us by... Oh my goodness. Alright, big fella, we'll come back to you. See if we can sneak around the back and grab a couple of these guys. Alright, looks like we may have got him, so let's go ahead and reset the boss. I don't know where that last guy went. Pop another sugar. And we're just gonna get ready to clap big fella. Let's find out where he's at exactly. And what you're going to want to do on this guy, I forgot to equip it, but you're going to want to pull out the spear. So, loaded spear. Make sure you have it equipped before you try to use it. And you're going to pull his armor off. There we go. Once his armor's off, he takes huge amounts of damage. There we go. So pretty easy boss fight. Get that stealth drop on him and then take off his armor and he just kind of falls over. Let's get this last red-headed ninja. Or I keep calling them ninjas, they're actually samurais. Boom. Alright, cool. So that's mini boss number 1 down. Alright, so as you can see, everything is on fire. Pretty big war zone. Fulminated mercury, which we needed. And what we're going to do here is focus on getting through without taking any damage from these guys. And the way you can do that is grappling up here and taking out this guy. Now this is the location for the best farm area in the game. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop down. jump over, and rest. So I'm going to show you guys this quick farm, and how it's going to net you a crazy amount of sen and a crazy amount of experience and some of the best items for upgrading in the game. So you're going to grapple up here, same thing we just did, except now you can sneak attack them. Make sure you have your blood-soaked ninjutsu. You can pop your Mibu balloons here too, make it a little bit easier. But you're going to hop down here, take this guy out. Take this guy out, and then run up and take out the cannoneer. Pop the ninjutsu and take this guy out. So it costs a couple spirit emblems because you are using the ninjutsu, but you're going to get a crazy amount of crafting material, sen, and experience points for doing that run right there. And I mean crazy. It's a really good farm. You can make thousands and thousands in one, like maybe an hour. You can make a few, you know, you could pretty much max out a whole upgrade tree in just the space of like an hour. So getting back up seems to be the challenge. Oh yeah. So if you want to get back up, just hop down this way. And rest. But we're not going to rest because we don't need to. Let's go ahead and complete our Merchant Bros story here. So as you can see, he's dead. Now, had we finished up his quest line by giving him Kotaro as his helper, he would be alive and Kotaro would be dead. So that's kind of the trade-off there. But yeah, he didn't make it through this one, so gonna keep pushing through the back area. Now, there are some Ministry assassins now that are along this back path. So we'll go ahead and just sprint on through. Pick up all the items that you need, but just keep on running. There's some good items through here, but nothing that we really need because we're, I mean, really close to end game right now. It is worth it, in my opinion, to go through this area and clear everything out, especially on your first playthrough, because you do get an opportunity to gain so much experience and stuff. But just for walkthrough purposes, I'm just gonna go ahead and knock the game out completely. So jump through here, and you can see the scratch marks, and this guy's gonna tell you that there is a demon up ahead. So resting here. Alright, so we're gonna rest, reset. There's a few things you're gonna want to do before you fight this boss as far as getting prepared. And one of those is acquiring your skill. We'll go ahead and pick up the simple leaping kicks, even though we don't really need it. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna do it because this guy's probably gonna kill us once or twice. Maybe even more. Alright, so High Monk, that's the strongest ability in this tree. It's very much worth it. But that's kind of like your, whenever an enemy does a slash attack and you jump, High Monk will enable you to really punish for that mistake. Alright, and we are ready to fight this boss. Alright, so Demon of Hatred is actually the sculptor. So the sculptor was carving all his Buddha statues and all that stuff, and it ended up turning him into a Demon of Hatred. So you're going to want to make sure you get everything organized. Now, this is not the normal boss fight that you are accustomed to. Everything he does can be parried other than his perilous attacks. However, he... Oh, I don't have the fire shield yet, do I? Alright, let's go get the fire shield real quick. He is very much like a Dark Souls boss where you're going to do a lot of running around to get out of the way of his attacks and not as much deflecting and all that kind of stuff. So key to the success on this fight is staying on his ass, making sure you're watching out for his stomps, and even though he's gone, you'll still be able to come in here and pick up. So we need some fulminated mercury. Let's see if this guy has any to purchase. If not, we'll have to go farm some up, and then probably tackle the Demon of Hatred on the next run. Alright, so no fulminated mercury. Not a big deal. We'll go farm it up real quick. We're going to travel back to the Outskirts. And we're going to hit the Underbridge Valley. So the Demon of Hatred is considered by a lot of people, not just myself, but by a lot of people to be the most difficult boss in the game. Really what makes him incredibly difficult is the fact that you've been parrying and, you know, deflecting and all that stuff the whole game, and he is not like that, and his perilous attacks are like large jumping sweeping attacks, so he's very much different than the normal enemy in the game. We're gonna go ahead and equip. We're gonna keep the Tonto. We'll just go ahead and replace these two with, where is it? Possession Balloon, and might as well do some real farming, right? So pop your Possession Balloon, pop your Tonto, hop up. The reason why we want to pop the Possession Balloon is because we're looking for a specific item that these guys drop, so using the balloon will just increase the drop, and you can already see they're dropping items like crazy. So the sculptor, the whole game is telling you that he sees the fires every time he carves the Buddha statues, and basically that fire is him turning Shura or into a Demon of Hatred. So by becoming a Demon of Hatred, he is pretty much unlocking like his final boss mode. There is some dialogue that we didn't do where Sekiro will actually recognize him as the Demon of Hatred, but since we didn't really focus on doing that dialogue, it's not like we missed anything huge, but you'll be able to go back to the old lady in the temple where we first found Ishin as the Tengu, and there'll be some dialogue there. Well, she'll tell us basically like we're on the same path and not to fall victim to Shura and stuff like that. But the sculptor was a shinobi, and he ended up killing too much, which led him to become a Demon of Hatred, which is why Ishin ended up cutting off his hand. He cut his arm off so he wouldn't be able to kill anymore, basically preventing from becoming Shura, which is why Ishin's dialogue says that he killed a Shura before. He didn't kill the actual Demon of Hatred, he prevented the sculptor from being one in the first place. Well, thought he prevented it. Alright, so we're going to keep running a couple more laps because it'd be nice to pick up a few more fulminated mercuries. Again, if your balloon that's in the bottom left hand corner runs out, you can just pop another one. By this point in the game, you should have plenty of them. I'm not running the wealth balloon just because it's not really necessary. I have plenty of gold. Great farm spot. Great farm spot. Alright, so we're getting some pretty good items. Only one mercury though. It's kind of disappointing. I guess we would get more mercury if we just naturally clear it all the way back to the Demon of Hatred, but don't feel like dealing with all those enemies. Best farm spots in the game are the ones that you can stealth through the whole thing without having to do any crazy fighting, because then you don't prolong it. Alright, another Possession Balloon. And as you can see, I mean, these guys give you 700. If you popped a Demon Bell in here, you would get, say, 700 experience per kill. And you're killing, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 enemies. So you're looking at 2,800 experience per run. That's an absolute fuck ton. So well worth farming sen and experience here and crafting material. fulminated mercury being one of the more difficult crafting materials in the game to find. We'll do one more run, and then we'll head back, because really we only need the fan for this fight and the next fight. The fan is probably the most overpowered prosthetic. A lot of the other ones do have their places, like the spear with the guy that we just fought was super useful. Divine Abduction has its uses for farming, and you know, the firecrackers on like Gyobu and the bullfights, they have their places, but I've yet to find a boss where it wasn't useful to pretty much just force them to fall with the umbrella. Now that being said, the umbrella loses a lot of its effectiveness in the Demon Bell and Charmless runs, because you still have to deflect perfectly. It doesn't just absorb all like it does in a regular playthrough, so it becomes much less of a crutch in those situations. Alright, so we're going to go back, and then we'll wrap up this episode after we've upgraded our prosthetic, and then we'll knock out the Demon of Hatred, and then we'll be going to finish the game by rescuing Kuro. Upgrade, and this is going to be the Flame Shield. Basically what the Flame Shield does is it allows your shield to absorb fire damage, and you'll see why that's really important very soon. Let's go ahead and just buy up all this guy's stuff. He's got Dragon Rot right now and he's not feeling too good. These are important, not as important, but there we go. Alright, travel back to Flames of Hatred. And again, this is considered by a lot of people to be the most difficult, so there probably will be some deaths in the next episode. But I'll catch you guys there, and we'll knock out Demon of Hatred.